Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal. I'm really happy that people like my previous video on Nvidia that crossed already 5,000 views. After that, some people asked me to make a video on AMD, so I'm making this video. The goal of this analysis is to make sure you make a better decision on buy or sell. The method is different from traditional price assessment method because this method gives you more reliable estimate. I encourage you to please watch this video till the end. It will be a good learning for you. I promise. Now let's get started. You see this table on your screen. I put together the financial data on this table that I got from different sources. I also have the historical data for last 4 quarters and also the latest quarter in column M so we can compare. Starting from the revenue in billions, the latest number 6.17 billion versus the prior quarter, the trend is up. That's a good sign. Net income in billions, 0.67 billion, latest number versus the prior quarter, same story, the trend is up. That's a good sign as well. Profit margin percentage, the latest number, 10.81 percentage compared with the previous quarter. And that's a good sign because profit margin growth is much higher than the revenue and net income growth that we just saw. Gross margin percentage, 47.20% versus the prior quarter. Not much change, but overall the trend is up. EBITDA margin percentage, that is earning before interest, taxes, and depreciation. Right now, the latest number 19.80 versus the prior quarters. Not much difference, but overall the numbers are aligned, not too far off from the previous quarters. EPS actual, the latest number 0.77 versus the prior quarters. The trend is up. No problem there. Free cash flow per share, the latest number 0.15 versus the prior quarter, not too far off from the prior quarter, and I don't see a major increase from the prior quarter, but overall it's aligned with the previous quarter. Debt to equity ratio 0.05, no change from the prior quarter. So overall, the margin, net income, and revenue going in the right direction. That's a good sign. Now let's talk about the EPS in detail. You see this EPS table on your screen. I have the historical number as well as the latest number and the projections for the future quarters. The latest number 0.77 versus the prior quarter 0.772. We had a earning miss for the latest quarter. But all the prior quarter we got the earning surprise with the exception of just one more earning miss. Future quarters 0.6 and then 0.69, 1 and then 1.29. The trend is up overall. For the next quarter, we see the EPS projection is lower than the latest EPS. So we should be cautious if we buy AMD in this quarter. Now let's take a look PE ratio that is more critical in finding the right estimate. I have made this table. I have the EPS forward for this quarter and next 3 quarters, EPS trailing 12 months, that is this quarter and previous 3 quarters, and also the date and the closing price, the P ratio with respect to trailing 12 months EPS, and the P ratio with respect to forward EPS for today's data as well as prior history. Okay, and also have a forward P for each quarter when they reported the EPS data. Okay, the latest EPS they reported was on January 30th, and then prior quarter before that. Okay, and then also have one more table that has the earnings surprise for latest quarter as well as previous quarters. Now let's make an assessment for minimum, average, and maximum price for AMD. And for this price assessment, I'm going to use forward PE because based on my learning and experience, forward PE is a more reliable indicator for price assessment. People either use it wrongly or they do not know how to use forward PE in their assessment. I did some calculation. Let me show you how I did that. Minimum price. I'm using EPS forward, that is G4, and then I'm multiplying it with N27, that is this guy, the minimum forward PE for last 4 quarters. So in order to get the minimum, I first calculated the mean for the last 4 quarters. So see the formula, J27 average through M27. So these four, the average is 40.81. Then what I did, in order to calculate the minimum value, I did average minus 2 standard deviation. Okay, so forward EPS times the minimum value of the forward PE, and then I'm multiplying it with the earning surprise, that is P34, that is this guy. So this is the earning surprise for last 12 quarters on average. Okay, so that gives me the minimum value for AMD is 68.63. Now calculating the average. For the average, same formula. I have the EPS forward in G4, and then I have the mean value for the last 4 quarters forward PE, that is 40.81. So I'm multiplying it here, and then P34, that's the earnings surprise for last 12 quarters. Okay, and that gives me average estimate 138.07. Then maximum, same formula. Okay, G4, that is EPS forward, and then multiplying with the maximum forward P for last 4 quarters, that is average plus 2 standard deviation for last 4 quarters of forward PE. And then I'm multiplying it with the earning surprise for last 12 quarters. So that gives me the maximum estimate 207.51. As of this point, AMD is trading at 176.54, much higher than the average price. To me, AMD is little overvalued compared to Nvidia. Okay, so we need to be very cautious to make a big buy on AMD. In my opinion, the stock should go down and should make some correction. Another reason to be cautious is the EPS. We noted that the EPS for next quarter and the following quarter is going down. Let me show you. See that 0.6 and 0.69 versus the latest number 0.77. So we might see some pressure on the stock in this quarter. So I won't recommend you to make a big buy on AMD at this price. So that was all about the financial analysis and the price assessment for AMD. I hope you liked this video. Please do not forget to share this video to others. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more tomorrow.